Okay, set up with our smaller punch. I want to make this point not too thin. I want to make it lenticular, keep the body on it, and I've got a pretty nice taper for like a notched point. And so I just need to remove a little bit of thickness up here. And then I need to come down this way. Let's just do some picking around our tip. I can do random isolation and make little spurs to put the punch on. Just sort of work up and down the edge, going either way depending on where I need to go. Probably need to refill this punch because I'm working on the bottom of it right now and it's kind of tough to do. Go this way. Nice little one. Nice. I need one more here, and I need a couple more here. So to get that one there, make a little isolation, relieve it on both sides, here and here. See that area of mass now? Use the abrader. Sometime in the mid-90s, this isolated platform became a description of how almost all mid-stage thinning was done. And it applies well to large direct percussion tools. But the term isolation is so weird when you think about hammerstones and punches because you're addressing areas of force and angles that you can't readily do with direct percussion. So it's made people a lot of times thin to a point where they're stopping, and then they do tons of pressure flaking, and they set up these isolated platforms, which if you're doing direct percussion, I guess it works, but it doesn't really apply to this punch work. See that nice smooth flake? You think of little pressure flakes that you need. You could just, if I had a anviled and use an antler pressure flaker, you can do some of these with pressure, but your terminations sometimes are going to be a little steppy. Trimming up these tiny little deltas with the punch. Holding it rigid and firm when I just want to do some random edge thickening and smoothing. Now there's a tiny ridge here. We've isolated slightly. Let's isolate it a little bit more. Coming on both sides of it. See how it's pronounced? And then I can direct this a little bit down. See this small little flake? Okay. Let's make a little knobbed hardin out of this. So the balance on these things is very important. So the slight boxing of the stem, directing of thinning flakes with a punch to maintain an area of mass right just above the haft. There we go. It's thinning in by keeping our thickness where we want it. I took up maybe just a tad too much. You see our base is nice and thin now, so we ought to be able to punch that. We have this thick area right here, so I'm going to want to take that down so after my notching is successful, I don't have a whole lot of intrusive blade flaking on that. Find a corner to this punch. I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to try to get the corner of the punch in there and just go down that ridge. I need to dress this thing. I have to come back and just do a teeny bit of wet beading so I get the flake I want. There we go. There we go. Okay, that ought to be fine. That'll notch out. Maybe we need one more right here, and then I can finish the blade after I notch it. Okay, our body's pretty good. Let's punch this. So it means I have a lot of blade work to do, but let's go ahead and get the base on, and everything out here will be away from our notching.